Okay, so welcome to my session titled 24 Hours in the Back Kitchen of a Nocode Editor, and we'll be focusing on how a feature is born. So it's designed to be comprehensible for everyone, coders and no coders alike. So if you need anything, please raise your hand, and I try to keep up with the questions. Well, provided I see them, of course. So I was originally intending to be with you today in person. I mean, so that I could share things in the best way possible with you, but it was rendered impossible due to COVID hitting me. So I hope you'll bear with me. Some facts about me, real quick. I don't want to. Is there a problem? Ok, j'attends un peu.
Ouais, d'accord. Ah, mais ouais, mais c'est pas grave. Et toi, t'as du flux vidéo, Kim, de ton côté, ou tu l'as coupé aussi?
Je l'ai pas coupé encore, je peux. Voilà.
Alors ça va pas être cool pour la rediff, mais bon, ce sera comme ça.
Bah, je mettrai le flux vidéo à la fin.
Est-ce qu'il y a des anglophones dans la salle? Pour savoir si en fait, c'est pour savoir si on fait la conf en français ou si on le fait en anglais. Kim, il s'est expérimenté, enfin, il a travaillé à fond son pitch en.
Bah, attends, c'est abusé. J'ai retrouvé un semblant d'accent et tout, quoi.
Tu fais comme tu veux.
Mais là, ça a l'air d'être bon. Hein.
Ouais, c'est bon. Ouais, je continue sur ma lancée. Je sais pas s'il y a des anglophones, alors tant pis, on verra. Okay, so I am 39. I'm married and I have two toddlers, 2 and 4 years old respectively. And to be honest, it's a big productivity boost because I get time to work unexpectedly and several times a night. Well, so that's that. I am passionate about a lot of things, no coding, of course, but also dancing, playing the piano, chess. So if you'd like to play a game, you're welcome to try me. And I have some other weird, let's say, quirks, like writing about Celtic mythology and lots and lots more weird things. Currently, I have 2 occupations, both geared towards no code. My first occupation is as a CEO and CTO at UDo.tools. So I am in charge of the executive aspects of UDo.tools and the technical ones as well. Other than that, I also have an occupation with my spouse, Karen, at Brazinov, with which we train people to no code and integrate no code into a dev environment, especially for businesses. About experience, I have more than 15 years of experience as a software engineer, and I have rounded experience with development, run, DevOps, cloud, and AWS in particular, but we'll get into that in a moment. And I have a 1.5-year history as a no-code maker. Okay, the objective of the session today is to help you understand, and I've made it easy for you to be creative. You can have your take on this session. You can choose to understand how we use code to enable no code. You can choose to try to get a sneak peek on what's under the hood when you use a Nocode tool. That's a wink towards Julien Vacher here in the room. Why developers shouldn't go extinct. And it's also designed to give you some insight about why the hell the devs of my favorite tool cannot fix my bug ASAP. And I'll let you read the last acronym the way you see fit. First, I'd like to give some insight about my take on no code as an experienced software manager engineer. In my opinion, no code should have been named YOFL. Well, that's an acronym that may make some sense to other software engineers, and you can notice that with each slide I've been slipping some flavor text to keep you entertained, so that you don't get bored even though I am not here with you. So why YOFL? Because in my opinion, no code is yet another weird family of language. To me, it's my opinion, of course, but no code is a group of very high level programming language. It's not really different from, let's say, Java or PHP or C#. It's just higher in the way it abstractizes things. And the question?
Désolé de déranger. Est-ce que tu es en train de présenter quelque chose? Parce que on voit pas.
Oui, je présente quelque chose là.
Ah, oui, parce que on voit pas le partage d'écran. Est-ce que tu peux le...
Oui, je vais essayer de le réactiver. Oui. Là, c'est bon?
Ouais.
Okay. Okay, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. So yes, here we can see a kind of hierarchy about programming languages. So we have the hardware on the far end, and as we go up the diagram, we go higher in level of abstraction with the programming languages. So the closest to the hardware is the machine language, then the assembly language, and then we switch to more high-level languages. Well, it's subject to debate as to C is low or high level, but well, it's completely subjective. So it doesn't matter really that much in the case we're presenting. So, and we have on the far end up no-code languages, which are which put an emphasis on the UI UX, hence the term of visual programming, and reusability. As I was telling you, it's all about abstraction and how we use it to hide or to mask the very technical details of the underlying languages, and that's really the approach we tend to use when we need to democratize, to popularize concepts. For example, when you have to multiply 3 and 2 to have six as a result, this is the assembly way to do it. Some of you may have used assembly, and it's kind of weird at first because you manipulate registries and you move them, you shift them, and you have to do multiple operations to be able to do a simple multiplication. So assembly is nearly all the way down on the diagram we saw before. Then we move up, for example, to C, and we can witness that the C way is much more concise, much more precise and readable. Okay, it's really close to the way we would do it by hand, and it's intending as a joke, but there is also the no-code way. Is there any questions so far? No? Okay, moving on. So that's that's it for the joke. We will now be talking about reusability, because reusability is what enables us to factorize developments, to add value to the no-code community, and to also to make it inexpensive, because the more we use something, the lesser the cost when we reach efficiency with it. So in the dev world, I trust some of you to be familiar with it. We have used libraries and frameworks for a long time now. Libraries are what? Basically bundles of code that people are likely to reuse over and over. For example, I trust many of you have used the JSON format before. Manipulated JSON is something that is very, very common in the dev world. So it's very rare now for someone to manipulate it bit by bit. People usually use libraries for doing it in order to reach greater ease of use. Going up, frameworks are, it's also a personal take, but mostly libraries and convention and good practices put together. And if we iterate over that refinement pattern, we add an abstraction layer several times, and we reach no code with an abstraction level so high that in fact you manipulate the underlying code without mostly being aware of it, except for the cases maybe like say Webflow, when you have to manipulate CSS classes and the likes. Well, you do have your hands on parts of the code anyway. Okay, that being said, it's time to move on to the main theme. So how do we deliver a feature? Agility of key, of course, because it's a great way to keep things on track with short feedback loops that prevents us from going all over the place. And of course, preparation before developing with code is vital to keep everyone on the same page and to reduce risks due to personal interpretation. So first, how do we elect a feature as the main priority? We usually prioritize a feature, and it makes the shortlist if it holds a lot of value for the user or for the client base, in order to, broadly speaking, encourage adoption. UDo is in a phase where we want to maximize traction. So we tend to prioritize features that can drive people home. Another case is when a feature holds a lot of strategic value for the product. Today, UDo is functionally relatively close to what Bubble offers, but we have the ambition to go further than Bubble and not be just another no-code tool. So I'll let you in on a little secret. We intend to focus on the data aspects, data viz, data analysis, and we'll be pushing on that front in the near future. So that's not an identified demand from the community, but that's where we want to go. So it holds a lot of strategic value for us. So that's pretty high on the list. And occasionally we can afford a sidestep to help a partner in need, for example, of electronic signature or the likes. So even though we are not many in the UDo team, we still need to use processes to keep things in check and to be efficient. So the conception process has 5 phases. The phases are in the middle of the slide, in the form of sort of a train of processes, and above in blue are the people who are involved in each phase, and the role in bold and underlined is the holder for the phase. So, for example, for the product design, the holder of the subject is the CIO. So Olivier, who should be in the room, I guess, is responsible for the vision at UDo.tools, and usually he is the one who comes up with evolutions for the product. Do you want me to go into the details, or maybe it will take a bit too long of time? I'm not too sure. I'll just skip forward. After product design comes technical design, because well, when you have an idea for a product, you hit roadblocks, constraints on the technical aspects with the architecture, the technical depths, and the likes. And so that's the job of the CTO, to validate those points, to define the architecture, to define the strategies for implementation. And once a design is reached with the help of the product and the software engineers, then it's time to do a full design review. So that's when we bring in the R&D to validate the design. And once it is validated, we can pass the subject on to the development team, who can then refine the subject. That's thinking a bit ahead of the development to identify potential roadblocks and find solutions before actually coding it. Then we move on to the development phase, and we do actual code finally. Is it clear enough?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I won't show you a live session of coding because I've distanced myself a bit from code. So I am now, I should say, less than average coder. I know you are maybe a bit disappointed, but so I will share instead some insight about our code. Today, UDo is living in 10 projects hosted on GitLab, which amount to approximately 150K code lines. It cost us roughly 100 gallons of coffee, which is a pretty good coffee to code ratio. And of course, our code is version documented, synced, secured, which are for the most part pretty new concepts in the no-code world. But it's coming thanks to the efforts of Benoit de Montclair, among others. And our code is automatically deployed using automation for testing purposes and then in production. Automation is really the use of automation is really to de-risk operations and to be more efficient and less time consuming, a bit like automation, a bit like why you would use make or N8N in Nocode. It's the same principle. And our infrastructure is coded too in order to keep track of changes. And that's where I think move on to, yes, the architecture. So this is maybe a lot to take in. So I won't go into the details, but this is the architecture we are actually implementing currently. So you can notice we have a database hosted by OVH Cloud. So we host our data in our and your data in France, and we won't be moving from it. And what can you what you can see on this diagram is well, creating a software which is both reliable, efficient, speedy, snappy, and fault tolerant is really a big deal. It's complex, it's costly. You have to integrate a lot of things. There's not just the code. There's the code, the architecture, the infrastructure, the engineering management, because you have to make people with different concerns work together, and yeah, it's all those things that we manage for you to be able to no code efficiently with the less worry possible. Well, of course, you can reach out to me if you want if you want me to give you more detail or more insight on these matters, because I won't be doing this now, as we have not we don't have a lot of time left. Moving on, we try to give you the most comfort possible, as I have just said, and that means that we try to deliver value, and we deliver our features in a way that it doesn't prevent you from working at the same time. So that's how it works under the hood. Here on the left side, the blue side, is the software with the current version. And when we have to deploy a new version, we deploy a new architecture in green on the side, completely independent, and we test it so that we know it works. And only at the very last moment, when we have checked that it works the way it is intended to do so, we switch you over from the blue to the green side, so that you don't even realize that you have switched over to the new version. And yeah, that's also a pretty big deal, because some months ago, you would experience an outage of the service, so that we can upgrade the version of the software. And of course, when all is said and done, we monitor the situation so that we can be reactive when something goes out of bounds. Oh, what is? Okay. To conclude, we do a lot of work so that you can deliver value to your clients, or for yourself, in the case of self-centered passions. And nonetheless, you still retain a bit of responsibility. So I went on the net, and I picked this very interesting infographics that documents the respective responsibilities of us as editor, for AWS as well as our provider, and maps also your responsibilities. And turns out we use the take and bake silo. We use well, it's an analogy with pizza dining, so that it would be easier to get. But roughly speaking, AWS provides us with the pizza dough, the tomato sauce, the toppings, and the cheese, and we do all the things in blue in the IaaS column. So we provide the fire, the oven, the electric gas, the energy, the soda, and the dining table. So that's our job, and yours is just to come in and dine, which means that you have very little responsibility left, but you still have some. It is not zero. Because you still have to converse with your lady and observe etiquette. So that means that even when you go to the restaurant and you pick your order, you have nothing to do, you still have responsibility to behave properly and use the platform in a respectful way, and if we translate this in layman's terms, it means that you use UDo as a service. So you sign up, you gain access, but you still can do everything you want. You can use the platform, but not do things that would go that would jeopardize your project. Of course, you have to respect the conditions générales de vente, the terms and conditions, of course, and that is still your responsibility. You have, if you serve European customers, you also have to respect the GDPR, so the réglementation RGPD, quoi. And so on. So you still have things you have to take care of. So that's how we use code to empower your no code. And as long as you play the game, we'll keep on delivering value so that you can serve your customers in the best way possible. Well, you get the point, and don't judge me for the silly graphics. Going further, you can meet Olivier and Florent on our booth at the very entrance of the event. You can miss them, and I am also reachable. You can reach me via LinkedIn. But you can also go and see Florent and Olivier, and they will put you through to me. I'll be delighted to meet you virtually using Gmeet during the event. And I have some insider news for you. There will be an opportunity to invest in UDo.tools in the very near future. So if you're interested, please go see Florent. He will be very delighted to guide you through UDo for a quick demo. Okay. Well, I can't see your faces, so I hope there wasn't too much yawning in the room, and that well, it was although not very spontaneous, at least a bit interesting, and you got something out of it. So live long and no code. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any question? So
yes, hi, Kim. Hear me? No, you can't. Okay, you are going to
yes.
Oh, okay.
I turned back my video feed.
Okay, that's okay. What monitoring tool are you using in order to monitor the UDo solution?
Currently we use AWS as a solution. So that's mainly CloudWatch for the metrics part and the logs part. And we plan to move onto the Elasticsearch suite to have better insights on the inner workings of our tools.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have also a question. Thanks for the presentation. You talked a lot about the reliability, but how did you start it? What was your first line of code? And did you have like that much infrastructure at the beginning?
Well, I was not on board at the time the first line of code was written. but I know a bit about history, so I try to answer to the best of my capabilities. It started with on on-prem, so on a server on a self-hosted VM, and then we moved to containers and Docker. I believe it was 1 year ago, and then we made the shift and lift operation to AWS very late. So we are still a bit in the aftermath of this operation currently, to be honest.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Did you already ship a feature that introduced breaking changes to the users, or that modified the unexpected use of the platform? And how did you handle that?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. We don't do breaking changes. Well, that is partially correct. In fact, we introduce new versions of components of no-code components, so that we don't have to migrate ancient versions, but we create new versions only if those introduce changes that might be breaking, as you mentioned it. So, for example, if you we have an image component, and when we are about to do a breaking change, well, we create a new version of the components. So the components have 2 different life cycles.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions?
I have another one. So at the beginning, you talked about a new feature. So before you design it, and then you think about the architecture, and after you implement it. And what is like the hardest job on this workflow? What is the longest part for you or your team?
Okay, that's a toughie. I'd say it's more in relation with our current staffing. We don't have a full-fledged product team, and so it can be hard to translate directly Olivier's vision into something technical. It's like we are missing a middleman, or should I say maybe a middle team, so that we can properly integrate a new visionary aspect into the product. So that's currently my job, and I've been managing so far, but pretty soon we will be in need of a more product-oriented person to do the job. So I think that's a main difficulty, because you have to reconcile a vision which is very, very high level, and which may in some cases not even exist yet on the market, or maybe in any other brain. I really encourage you to go speak with Olivier. He has a very personal and sometimes brilliant take on matters, but it makes it all the harder to put it into practice using the, say, low-level code in comparison.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yes, I have also one question. Thanks for your presentation. You say that one of the most important aspects for the strategy of UDo.tools was based on data aspects. Which kind of features can we hope to see in the future about data on the UDo tool?
Okay. Well, that's currently a work in progress, even at the even on the conceptual level. But in a nutshell, we intend to propose some components for that data viz. So that includes charts, all kinds of charts, interactive, of course, so that you can drill down on a particular dimension. We want to rework our data grids so that they are more data statistics oriented. Further down the line, and that's really distant at the moment. We will be considering the use of artificial intelligence, of course, and I had something else in mind, but I just lost it. Yes. And that's part of the vision, but we want UDoers and their clients, customers, to be able to pull their data together. Well, that's in the future, so that they can gain insight on their own data and be reckoned with as a major force in their field, even though the actors are individually basically powerless in front of the powerful groups. Okay, so that's it. Was it clear enough?
Yes, perfect. Thanks.
Okay. One last question, maybe. Okay, I guess that's it. I thank you for your attention. Sorry for the mishaps with the technical difficulties at the start, and I hope my flavor text kept you entertained all the way during the presentation. Thank you very much. Enjoy the